maybe we want to have a situation in which the player can actually also get a little bit more energy. So what we can do is we can create collectible hearts. So maybe I will put a heart on top of this cloud here. So for that I think it might be the simplest to make a copy out of this heart here, because I kind of want it to be separate from these. I want to have a separate object to kind of make things more clear. So what I will do is I will right click here and I will clone this object type. And it says, where did the clone go? Well, I haven't used the clone heart yet in my layout, so it's not visible here in the objects of this layout, but it is visible here in the project tab. So here we can see there's heart 2, and I will actually rename this and I will call it collectible heart. Alright, so now that it's called the collectible heart, I will drag it here on top of this cloud, and I guess it can be rather big. So we want it to be so that if the player hits this heart here, then he can get some more energy. So let me go to my layers, and we can see that I put it on the HUD by mistake, so that's not what I really wanted. I want to put it on the foreground, so let me just change the layer from here. Now it rests on the foreground, and let's create the logic for this heart. So that's pretty simple, right? So I want to add an event, and maybe, yeah, let's make it the subcategory of health. So I will press S, and I will select the collectible heart from here, and let's say that if the player collides with this heart, sorry, if the heart collides with another object, which is the player, so if the heart is colliding with the player, then we will want to increase the player health. So we are going to go to system, and then we are going to add to this player health, and we're going to add 1 to it, like that. And the problem, if we just leave it at this, let's see what happens actually. So if I save this right now, let's go and collect that heart. I'm going to jump all the way towards the heart here. So the problem here is that first of all, I can't see my hearts increasing because I haven't programmed that in yet, and also I can collect it many times, so it's just staying there even though I'm hitting it. But now you might see that I have so much energy that these hearts are not disappearing even though I'm hitting the enemy, so the hearts still stayed there. So let's fix a couple of things. So first of all, let's destroy the heart when we collect it, so that we can only collect it once. So I will go to this same collision event where we are seeing if the heart touches the player, and I will add a second action, so we can have many different actions happening just based on one condition. So I will add a second action, and I will say that the collectible heart that is taking part in the collision here should get destroyed. So let me just select this destroy. Done. And now let's also make sure that we can see the effect of collecting the heart. So here is the little piece of code that handles the visibility of our hearts in the heads-up display. Let's actually comment it by pressing Q, and I will write a comment that is saying that show or hide HUD hearts. Okay, so if the number of the heart in the heads-up display is greater than the actual health of the player, we should hide that. So now let's create a condition where the opposite is true. So I will simply copy paste this, so Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and now I will modify this one by double clicking here, and let's just make it that if the heart number is less or equal. So for example, if the health is 3 and the player health is 3, then we want to set the heart visible. Or if the heart number is 1 and the player health is 3, then we also want to set it visible. So let's see if that works. So we start with 3 hearts, that looks good. Let's jump up here. We lost 1 heart, that's fine. Now we want to see if when we hit this heart here, will our heart amount increase by 1. And it did. So now the collectibles are also working. We can increase the amount of hearts in our heads-up display. And let's just lose them like that. The next thing might be, let's make it possible to kill the enemies. So we want to have some way of battling them. So that's what we're going to do in our next video.